now listening to the Sportz Nutz.
Yes, you are. You are listening to the Sportz Nutz. You got my man to my right, Mr. Matt Thomas. Matt, how have you been, man?
Man, everything's been good, man. It's getting cold. It's getting cold outside, guys. You see, I got the little, got to cover the ears up, man. You know, warm ears equal warm body. So, you know, that's what we're gonna go by. But it's cold out there. Warm up.
Yeah, it is gonna be cold. We're gonna talk a little bit about that actually for the entire Southeast. We got some really cool information on that one. To my man, directly to my caddy, corner right, Mr. Shane Owen. How are you doing, Shane?
Oh man, doing good, man. Can't complain. It's ready to get down to Charleston for the weekend. Hopefully, escape some of this weather that we might be talking about. Take care of Grandma. Get a nice, relaxing weekend down by the water. Enjoy some good cooking. Got a good pancake mix from my cousin, so I'm ready.
Brandon's breaking up a little bit. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Oh man, couldn't be better, but at the same time, like a lot of technical difficulties. I don't tell I'll tell on myself. I literally just joined like a few seconds ago. All of a sudden, my camera would not look at me. And my camera would not look at me. It was going black. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this all audio, aren't I? And I'm like, then all of a sudden I performed some sort of magic. And, here we are. Because I've been working on it for the last 18 minutes. Oh, and by the way, and I'm going to tell myself, I have an eye sty as well.
Uh-oh.
So there's no fighting me on this one. I have an eye sty on me. One of those pimples inside your eyelid type thing.
Yeah, man, that sounds so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, if you don't lie, you won't get a stat.
Is that like one of those like the bump on your tongue thing or whatever?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Oh man, well I lied to myself about. Oh yeah, that it's warm outside.
That's warm outside.
But but it's good to see you, gentlemen. I'm sorry that we didn't get to do a little pre-talk and stuff like that. We're just,
man, it's all good, man. You know how we do, man. We just kind of wing this thing anyway, man.
Well, Brandon is definitely winging it, man. He's coming home from the game. He told me by text they won. I'm like, that's good.
Yeah.
You think he'd forgive himself more if it wasn't for the fact that they didn't win? I mean.
Oh man, I don't know, man. He's the coach, so he's a little hard on himself, man. I always call him Bob Knight, So if he would have lost, I'm pretty sure some chairs would have been thrown across the court.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be home in a few minutes. I'm sure he'll be home in a few minutes.
Yeah. He's almost to the house, man. He's almost.
Oh yeah.
I was, I'm just happy. I'm just happy to be here, though. I mean, like, regardless of all the technical difficulties and this thing that, it hurts. I mean, I could not be happier to be here tonight, gentlemen. So it's good to see you as always.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you as well, man. Well, until Brandon gets back, Shane, you want to go ahead and shout out Tequila Sports?
Oh yeah, man. Tequila's Grill. Hey, man. A great sponsor of ours. You can check them out. 5455 Calhoun Memorial Highway in Easley, South Carolina. One of the best authentic Mexican cuisines that you will ever go out and eat. Man, they've got the great salsa bar, 9 to 12 different dips all included in that. Man, great happy hour specials, as of course everybody knows I love. But man, it's a great environment. As always, they do have room for conference parties and stuff like that, business luncheons. Give them a call. Check them out. 864-307-8028. As always, Tequila's Grill, 5455 Calhoun Memorial Highway, Easley, South Carolina.
Yes. Brandon, I like how you pop up like nothing just happened. Just popped up.
I was literally driving and it switched over to my wife's Bluetooth and then it kicked off and back on and off. So like, what the heck with this? And so I got in here. But I'm in the zone. Hey, real quickly, David Cooper, you are out of the chat, sir. Please do not worry about coming back in our show. All right, Matt. We have a lot of great stories to talk about. Matt has a really good one that we're going to start with, but we also want to talk about the Northern Illinois joining with the Mountain West Conference. Going to talk a little bit about that as well. Hey, we are also going to talk about, yes, as you guys see, my voice is hoarse. 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to show the star of the show is the beautiful Aspen. She is a camper, and she did really good. And I'm proud of her. I love you, baby.
Hey.
She's going night. So,
luckily,
we want to talk about.
Luckily, she doesn't take after her dad.
Yeah. Oh, and Brandon, don't be insecure about your voice, man. I got an ice tied tonight. It looks like I got. You
got punched in the face.
It looks like I got punched in the face, but it's really an ice tie. Then my stuff stopped working 18 minutes before I came on here. So I should be the butt of the jokes tonight, not your voice.
So, and then also want to mention, tonight we actually had our first in-conference basketball game. My daughter, as you guys know, I am the assistant coach, technically the full-time coach, but I'm the assistant coach. We won 20-16. Matt, bite your tongue. We will talk a little bit about that, give a special shout out. And Matt is going to love to sit there and say, I'm Bobby Knight Jr., but whatever.
While you were going, I did say that. I did mention that while you were going.
Yeah. And I'm not stupid. I knew you'd say that. Come on now. It's you, Matt.
Hey,
also, got a little cool story I want to talk to you. I saw this on NFLrumors.com. I want to share that with you guys. Mm-hmm. It's regarding Josh Allen and a substantial amount of money. I know it's probably just hearsay and whatever, but I want to hear your thoughts on it, if you think he is worthy of it and that kind of stuff. Obviously, NFL postseason is here. Matt and mine's team, good God Almighty. They made Bryce Young look like a Hall of Fame quarterback this weekend. We'll talk a little bit about the NFL playoffs and the coaching carousel going on. Shane actually mentioned one name. We're going to have him share with everybody what that name is in a little bit. So you guys heard the shout outs. Matt, we've talked about it, everything, but the floor, sir, this guy right here, the floor is his. Please tell everybody this crazy story coming out of FS1.
Absolutely, man. Now, guys, here at the Sportz Nutz, we always love to talk sports. We always kind of shine on the positive sides of things. We usually stay away from kind of the negative stories, and by negative, I mean anything that has to do with, lawsuits or arrests or things like that, man. We kind of tend to stay away. But, we feel that this particular story, it embodies sports, but it also embodies what goes on in the workplace as well. And, so I'm going to start off by saying former Fox, sports hairstylist, Naushin Faraji, however you pronounce it. She's filed a lawsuit against Fox Sports and several individuals, including, sports commentator Skip Bayless and host Joy Taylor. She alleges that, sexual misconduct and there was sexual misconduct and workplace harassment. Faraji, I'm going to say Faraji. That's what I'm going to say. She was employed at Fox Sports from 2012 to 2024. She claimed that Bayless made repeated unwanted advances, including offering her $1.5 million, for one of those advances, and engaging in inappropriate, physical contact during her tenure there. The lawsuit also accused, Fox Sports executive Charlie Dixon of groping her at a social event and alleges that Taylor dismissed Faraji's concerns when informed about the incident. Faraji also asserts that after reporting those issues, she faced retaliation, including a hostile work environment and which led to her eventual termination. Fox Sports, they actually commented on the matter. They said that they take those allegations very seriously. But that's all they said. They declined further comment. So, Shane, we're going to go to you first, man. Tell me, man, how do you feel about all this, man? What goes on through your head or through your mind, man, when you hear something like this?
Man, I don't know. It sounds like a college frat house almost the way it sound, and you brought it up, the hairstylist. I'm not even going to butcher the name. I'm just going to say the hairstylist.
I'm right there with you. I was going to say the hairstylist too.
Yeah, I know. I should have just said the hairstylist.
That's an insult to hairstylists, but okay.
But they her first meeting in what was proposed and everything was out at a luncheon or a dinner with her and Acho. And she said that she got the vibes from that very moment that they brought her in for the business meeting that there was a romantic connection between the two. Talking about Acho and Joy Taylor. But man, I don't know this big of a scale and this major of a network and things, how it's happening. I guess it's a good thing, Disney's involved because they got deep pockets. They can go after them now. Yep. But I don't know. I've got to read a little bit more in on it. The actual allegations and stuff, and kind of the deposition of what actually went on. As always, we get the highlights from X and Facebook and TikTok and all that. But I see all this is alleged, of course, but it could spiral completely out of control where FS1's scrambling and they're going to be playing a bunch of sports now instead of trying to do the talk news network kind of deal.
Which we're not really sad about that, because there's too much going on. I mean,
Hank, what do you think about this whole situation, man?
I mean, obviously, it's heinous if it's true, and my heart goes out to the victims of it. That being said, Skip Bayless, you're 73 years old, man. Stop rubbing your hairy crescent roll against women, at your age. Can you even get it up? I mean,
I don't think
you need. Hey, look, his show should be sponsored by Blue Chew. Okay. And but yeah, no, I don't, obviously, yeah, it goes without saying it's a heinous crime if you're just absolutely if you're on the edge of if you're kind of edging with these women, you're kind of your youthful days kind of come in. Maybe there's not a whole lot of response behind it and stuff like that. And that's where you have to take care of yourself as far as your sexual transmutation. You gotta find some restraint here. It's not cool. I mean, if you're like Bill Belichick, who's got the swag of a 25-year-old, apparently, who can get a 23-year-old, but apparently Skip didn't shoot his shot. I mean, so.
But Belichick has no problem at college recruiting.
No.
Figuratively and literally, folks.
Exactly. But I hate it for the victims. And contrary to popular belief, Skip is an excellent analyst. Okay. You got to have a villain. Okay. Him and Stephen A. for all them years, they're both villains, and it's like Magneto fighting Doomsday. I mean, they're just both extremely great villains at what they do with their job. And Skip, I hope it's not true, but if it is, man, go get you some help, and hopefully you'll get past this at 73 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like I heard Stephen A. Smith comment on it, man, and he also said that the Skip Bayless that he knows, it's tough to get $15 out of him. So for him to offer 1.5,
well, no, 1.5 million.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. He's married. His wife Ernestine has been a really big, supporter in Skip's career, man. But hey guys, we know this, man. People with money sometimes they tend to step out. It happens. It is what it is. That's not only athletes. Is you have
they don't think they think with their little head, not their big head.
Exactly.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
That's what men do. We don't invest emotionally. We just invest physically. That's just how we are.
And Ernestine is not a bad looking woman at all either. So that just goes to show you that it don't matter what you look like, if you're going to step out,
you're going to step out.
Exactly. I mean,
what about you, Brandon? What do you think about this whole thing, man?
Well, I saw this whole rundown timeline on Twitter today about how it was kind of going down, and there may be some validity to it. Obviously, I think the Sam Acho or whatever his name is,
Emmanuel Acho.
Emmanuel Acho, yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking Sam for some reason because that's his brother, but Emmanuel Acho, and there's a picture of him and her having. She has a wine glass. He has one of those poppy sodas and has a towel or blanket or whatever over his lower extremities, and he's sitting in a on a couch, and it's just some stuff do kind of add up. Like maybe this is for real, like this really happened. But then again, I go right back to Skip Bayless. Like, okay, first off, I know I'm not like my wife will say otherwise. I'm not the best looking person in the world, but Skip Bayless looks kind of like a shriveled up old, like polluted plum. He looks disgusting. He's nasty. And I don't find I don't care about money. That's like saying, what is the owner of the Raiders right now?
I know you're talking about
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis. Al Davis's son. Mark Davis looks like he gets a bowl cut, and he looks like he makes Chucky the doll look like sex.
He looks like
he looks girlfriend. That money got his girlfriend inside of him. So
no, it looks like that John Gruden said, if I'm a coach for you, you got to have my haircut.
Exactly. So I don't know. I think there is some validity. However, the Skip Bayless thing, I don't think it is. And I heard Stephen A. said the same thing. It's hard to get anything out of him, let alone 1.5 million. He is the most stingiest person when it comes to anything and everything. And I have people who have mentioned it that I talk to the media as well that said that they can't fully buy into Skip Bayless. However, if it did turn out it's real and he is also a participant in this one, then FS1, you've got some serious ground control. And Shane hit the nail on the head. He sat there and he said, we're going to start going back to playing sports. Let me know all this jibber jabber talk, which I'm okay with. Shane, you have a point. Share with everybody what your point is. I want to hear this too, because this is a very really ridiculous point with with what's going on with this whole thing.
Yeah, well, and here's the thing that I want to let everybody know. What's happened and what's allegedly happened is extremely egregious, as what Hank said. But it's kind of the climate that we've seen here lately, like the Epsteins and the Diddy's and all. It's kind of if you think before all this came out, if this story would have broke, how big it would have been compared to how we're kind of looking at it now. Not now, kind of we look at it as the truth. I just think it's rough that as a culture, we look at it and we now just start looking for the facts instead of get that, oh wow, holy crap, this might have actually happened moment. It's one of those things that I think that we need to sit back and look at, and we need to have that reaction to what's alleged, but then we don't need to crucify them. We also need to get the facts at that point as well.
Exactly. You hit the nail on it, because there's so many people who sit there and say guilty before association, or guilty by association, or guilty before proven innocent kind of stuff. And, we don't know exactly. I mean, and you just brought the point up again, Shane, with Diddy, with Jay-Z, and the issues like the past of alleged sexual encounters, harassment, whatever, with Donald Trump, with Epstein, with everybody, Bill here's Cosby, my question. Here's my question on that one. No, if it happened a long time ago, why are you waiting until 2023, 24, and now 25? Why are you waiting this long to say, oh, XYZ did this to me 37 years ago and I was emotionally scarred? Obviously, you weren't too emotionally scarred if you waited 37 years. You've had kids, you have grandkids, you graduated college, you made a name for yourself, then you get divorced and you lost money. That's one possibility, is because you've lost all this money you worked your backside off for. I'm not saying that's happened, but I'm saying, you're waiting too long. And I feel honestly that statute of limitations should apply to certain events like this. However, obviously, I'm not condoning. We at the Sportz Nutz, we're not condoning this to anybody. If sexual harassment does happen, sexual assault, unwanted sexual advances happen, that kind of stuff. Look, you're not worthy of our time if you do that to people. That is the wrong thing to do. Show dignity in your own human life. But in the same sense, I want to look at one of them, like Jay-Z. Jay-Z, there's talks that he raped a 16-year-old girl back in like the late 90s or whatever, something like that. Ridiculous. And here we are again. We're over 30 years now, and you're coming and saying that you were permanently scarred. He damaged you, and yada yada yada. If you really did, you would have done something back then. You waited, obviously, because you didn't think he was legit or whatever, and you waited until now to be like, oh yeah, I can milk him for money, and because Jay-Z obviously is a multi-million, if not close to $1 billion industry with his wife Beyonce. You know, what do you think, Matt? Like, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I can kind of agree. I kind of agree with it, man. I mean, it's just one of those things, man. You know, it's especially, you know, Shane again, he hit the nail right on the head. You know, it's just, you know, with all the stuff coming out, I mean, we already, you know, presume these people are guilty. Same thing with Jay-Z and stuff like that, man. We don't know the facts. We don't know 100% of the facts are, you know, until they release. But usually by the time they release all the facts, you know, people don't stop talking about it. It's lost in translation. Everything's lost. And the guilty perception and persona is already placed upon these people. So, Brandon, I like how you joined us twice. That's pretty neat.
I'm adding something.
That's pretty neat, bro.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, man, it's just one of those things, man, where, you know, you kind of have to form your opinion, but you also kind of have to understand that all the facts aren't released yet. You know? Right. You know, I mean, Skip's wife isn't going to divorce him right now at the moment. You know, they're going to wait to see what the freak happens. And if it comes out that if text messages are released and things like that, then I'm pretty sure Ernestine is going to, you know, file the divorce papers and take half the stuff.
Oh yeah, well, and from what she said, I guess, in whatever deposition she might have gave, there's plenty of what would you say, circumstantial evidence there that they're going to be able to put together what the truth is and everything else. And then also on a lighter note, you know, I feel sorry for this younger generation. You know, we're talking about the Diddy's and the Jay-Z's, like they don't know, you know, anything but R. Kelly and the trouble that he's been in. They didn't know that he made great songs.
Yeah,
I mean, if you really think
you hit me on the head, you absolutely did.
That long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Believe I Can Fly, the remix to Ignition. Hey, man. Trap in the Closets.
This is the remix to Ignition.
That's right. Wine for me.
Hot out the kitchen. You know, he had them hits, man.
Hey, I tell you, I listened to the greatest and about cry.
Oh yeah, no, I love R. Kelly. I mean, big song, but you know, and to piggyback off what Shane said earlier too about, you know, this whole, like if this had happened like 5 or 6 years ago before all these allegations came in, you know, in this big swarm and stuff like that, it would be totally spotlighted more than it is right now. Because, you know, if you think about like when Colin Kaepernick took the knee and everything like that, and Ray Lewis and all these guys, I mean, all these guys who have been accused of all these heinous crimes and stuff like that, they got spotlighted immediately. And there was people didn't even watch football and spotlighted and sports and spotlighted these people. So
Ray Rice got washed out the league because
yeah. Didn't see the field again after that.
I mean,
he was eliminated from video games too. Remember?
Yeah. They took him out of man. So, it's crazy, man. But something like that, something with Ray Rice. I mean, the video came out. I mean, it happened. It had already happened, and he already got. You know,
they had his kick power at 99 though on Madden before they took him off.
You know, look, everything happens. You know, we understand,
Shane,
right?
Really, Shane.
Really? I'm not even going to comment on that one.
Sorry.
Really.
Really.
I say nothing.
Sorry.
I mean, the way that you know, I'm not even gonna say. I'm not gonna fit into that. Let me go back to what. Really, Shane. Really.
Wait. Who has the flag? Who has the flag?
I don't.
All right, you ready? Flag.
There you go, Shane. You get the
flag.
I'll take that one.
Pass interference on the Shane.
Was that unsportsmanlike? I can't get another one, or I'm out of here.
That's right. You want more? You're right in the game.
That's right.
That was a technical foul, sir.
Yeah.
Technical foul, delay your game.
Look, you know.
But with the hairdresser, man, they say the hairdresser always notated everything. You know, they said she kept journals and always notated everything.
But when did this happen, though, is the question.
I think it's after she got fired, man. I think she just
all the way from like 2016 all the way up to like 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
Oh, so she's been gone that long?
5 years?
No, about 4 years. But you got to understand, Brandon, it's different. You got to get your lawyers together. You got to get you got to get all this together.
So but I mean, I'm like Brandon, and Brandon didn't blatantly say it, but man, you know, I mean, why is it taking so long? You know, I don't understand that. I mean, believe me, okay, if you want to come out with that you're embarrassed, okay, you know, you're ashamed, you know, something like that. But I got news for you, man. There's people, please, if you're trying to get your redemption and your money, embarrassment goes out the window.
Yep.
And you actually become a hero.
And if you're going to do it this way too, I mean, you're talking about public figures. You're going to be in the public's eye, no matter how minuscule it is. It's still major, because I didn't know about this hairdresser's name until all this came out.
Exactly.
All I knew is that Joy looked good on set.
I know you guys are all seeing that those Colin Cowherd blips, man. When he
yes. Yes.
Oh man.
Because it's Colin Cowherd, you know. He is he is essentially the goat of making the most unusual stuff up.
Oh no, Joy can get it. I mean,
Joy's hot, man.
Joy can get it for me.
But at the same time, you know, Brandon has to say that because his wife is right there. But
she's upstairs with Aspen. No, Joy to me, look, she's pretty, but she ain't good looking. No, the only thing she has going for her.
Brandon,
no.
Brandon,
The only thing that's good for her
I'm
is
not going to sit here and allow blasphemous statements like this, man. I'm not going to sit here and allow it this time, Brandon. Not this time.
No.
Not this time.
No.
You better sit back and enjoy your opinion in between them ears.
Exactly.
Joy is not sexy. No, I think she's pretty, but I don't think she's sexy.
If Joy was standing in front of Brandon
I don't know.
Brandon,
if Joy were standing naked in front of me, I'd say get out. I promise you, I really would.
Man, dude, I'd be I'd had so many dudes call me fruit booty if that happened to me.
Yeah.
No.
I would rather. I would rather see Shane naked than Joy. That's the truth.
Okay. All right.
What?
All right, Brandon.
I'm serious.
Right,
I'm serious. You know what? I'm gonna go and do it. I threw the flag on myself. Whatever.
All right, Brandon. I know. You know what? He has to say that because his wife is tuned in. We're gonna let him slide. Let's go ahead and move on.
Husband of the year here.
You know what, Brandon?
Brandon, you need
this. Good job, Brandon. Good job. Good job, Brandon. Good job, man.
I'm taking marriage tips right now. If anybody's watching.
All right. So now that we broke the ice
after the show.
Whatever.
This is the first time you guys ever talked about women on the show.
Dude, I must be a chick magnet because we brought up Kelsey Plum last week, and then this week.
Now we're talking about Joy Taylor. Come on now.
Hey, next week we're gonna log in. Brandon's not gonna be with us.
Wait a second, Matt and Shane, are you both single?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. We get to be bachelors then.
Single, no tie downs, except for a great name.
That he knows.
And y'all seen Miss Lily, so when she ain't back here.
The thing. All right, so let's go on to the next topic because obviously we've broken the ice on this one, which is really good. All right, so I'm going to put this picture up, and then I want to hear you guys talk. Excuse me, I want to hear your thoughts about it, okay? So, why did it not load? Really?
It's in the background, bro.
It's in the background. I just saw that. Thank goodness. You know what, Matt?
Hey, man, Joy Taylor got him flustered, guys.
Hey, I don't see it.
All right.
I thought you didn't think that.
Without me. All right, so what I'm going to say is this. All right, so Northern Illinois, they officially joined the Mountain West Conference as a football-only member. This makes it number 9 for the football version for the Mountain West Conference. However, it will be expanding again as University of Cal Davis. Yes, they are currently at every position but football. That will be until the year 2029 when UC Davis takes over full-time membership at the Mountain West Conference. Now, why am I bringing this up? Obviously, Mountain West Conference is very big with me, but we saw a national championship game last night. North Dakota State took on Montana State, previously undefeated. Montana State, Shane says it, Montana State laid a goose egg on there. Yes, they lost 35-32. It was kind of garbage touchdowns. Trey Lance's brother did really, really good for North Dakota State. But the word is that I have been speaking with one of the members of the Mountain West Conference. Both Montana and Montana State are possibly going to be joining the Mountain West Conference as well. So they would be only in football to start, and then they would go full-time members in the year 29 as well. I want to start with you, Matt. What are your thoughts? Hold on. We have a visitor who wants to say goodbye to everybody and wave to you.
Goodbye.
So, Addison, they are saying congratulations on your win tonight.
Good game,
Yes.
Addison.
So,
good game.
Good game, Addison.
Good game today.
So, Matt, I want to start with
you.
you. You're not proud of her? You know what?
It's more
Matt?
important for her that her dad be proud of her.
I threw another flag at you. All right. So, Matt, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Northern Illinois joining the Mountain? Look, and everybody knows Northern Illinois from Illinois, where they're located, all the way to the Honolulu, Hawaii, is 4,637 miles. That's a really long distance for a team that plays in the Pacific to go all the way to someone who plays in the Great Lake region. All right, so Matt,
Absolutely.
what are your thoughts on Northern Illinois joining the Mountain West, and what are your thoughts on the possibility of both Montana and Montana State maybe joining the Mountain West Conference?
As far as them joining the Mountain West Conference, man, I think that it adds. It's going to add good parity to them. I mean, you have Boise State there already, of course. You got Colorado State, Hawaii, Nevada, Fresno. I mean, it's a good parity, of teams there, man. But with those particular teams, I know it's kind of more eastern on the map as far as you said, northern Illinois. They're a little more eastern on the map, so I think it'll be a little. I think it's good for them, man. I think it's good for them. I think it's good for them. They'll play different time zones than the time zones they're originally used to playing in, especially with Hawaii. But I think it's good. It'll add some depth. It'll add some depth to the league. It'll make the games a little bit more interesting. I think it's a good move for them.
What do you think about the possibility of Montana and Montana State?
Again, man, I mean, they're making the league bigger. They're making the league bigger, man. I mean, I think at the end of the day, anyway, I think at the end of the day, in about 10 years, most of these conferences are going to be their own leagues anyway. They're going to break off and kind of just do their own thing. That's kind of, it looks like that's the direction it's going, because nobody's going to agree on, how things are ran. And the champion of all those leagues are going to come to a big playoff, and then that's going to be it. So, I can kind of see that happening. But, as far as those teams joining, those two teams joining, again, I think it adds more depth to the league, makes it bigger. If the league's bigger, there's more money in the league. So, I think it's good for them.
What do you think, Shane? Obviously, it's a step in the right direction for I believe for the Mountain West Conference. But what do you think? Do you think we could? We're not done seeing the expansion. Montana State. They're good to have as part of the Mountain West Conference. But do you think that we will see something like them join?
I'm not sure. There's a lot of talks in it. We saw Coastal Carolina come up from the FCS ranks. We saw James Madison, Liberty, Marshall, even at that.
Jacksonville State.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of these East Coast schools that do good for a few years, and admittedly so, they probably have other programs that contribute more so than, say, the Montanas and Montana States, because I haven't researched much on their, spring sports, but I'm sure that their spring sports aren't that great because there's not much spring up there. You go from summer to winter real quick.
Now, the basketball team at Montana is actually really good. The Grizzlies men's basketball is actually really good. They're part of the Big Sky.
Yeah, well, see, that's kind of what I'm talking about. You have a few good sports in there, but as the East Coast, like the James Madisons and the Coastals, which we saw Coastal end up winning the national championship, but you see them coming into the ranks because I think that they have more to give in other sports that would draw more interest into those leagues. Now we are also talking about leagues on the eastern side of the seaboard and, in the South as well. So, there's plenty of other opportunities, especially, you don't have a lot of the everybody's vying to get into the ACC or the SEC. That's basically how we look at it. Everybody's vying into that. So a lot of the smaller conferences went out and picked up these schools so that they could get a boost. Northern Illinois going from the MAC to the Mountain West.
Yeah,
it brings their conference up in strength, especially for the football side, and could eventually be a great game on that side. But I think it was a move to kind of strengthen up the conference on the football side, to bring in a couple schools that were kind of looking to get fit in somewhere, so that way they could say, hey, we're not playing this soft schedule like y'all thought we were, So they're vying to be Mountain West, I see, is kind of positioning themselves to be in that race for eventually one of the things I've said before in the past, a four conference, 3-tier system, where we have top tiers, second tiers, and third tiers. And we basically do it how college basketball does all their wins now, like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So, we kind of do it like that. They're positioning themselves to be in that conversation, say, hey, we have this great conference. Put us up there as an automatic bid every time.
Well, and part of the reason why that they're doing this also, the TV deal, the current TV deal for the Mountain West Conference, it does expire in the start of 2026, which is not a very big one. However, because schools like Boise and all the others that were part of the Mountain West left to go to the, quote, new Pac-12, the exit fees now get divvied out pretty hefty to full-time members. And Hawaii now officially will benefit because they have that agreement set for 2026. They will get full-time membership. They will get to tap into the exit fees, which is like $200 million. The schools are going to really – now, Northern Illinois, unfortunately, is only going to get like 2%, which for them is still pretty significant because the MAC conferences schools, they don't pay a lot. And, Northern Illinois is only doing it in football. The rest are going to the Horizon League. So they're still staying in the Horizon League. So it's really to get money.
Well, I can tell you another thing too, though. Like you look at a lot of your Illinois schools, like SIUE, that Southern Illinois, Edwardsville, Eastern Illinois, Northern Illinois. Those schools have some money and some backing behind them. Yep. They've been able to survive and have thrived. Especially on the academic side. I knew somebody that was from Illinois, and it's not like Arizona where everybody gets accepted into the state schools. You've got to go to these smaller schools to get accepted. Between Illinois, I mean, even Indiana, the crossover into Missouri at that too. They all share borders, but it's one of those things that those schools have grown, and they have grown as schools and are set to where they can make this leap now.
So the total fee cost that Northern Illinois has to pay to join is like $7.3 million. It's like $7.35 million that they're having to pay again. However, the return on investment is going to be significant because the Pac-12 schools, they don't have the TV rights deal, and there's talks they're not even going to have a TV right deal, that the new Pac-12 could actually fold, which would leave the teams who left sitting, ducks out of water. So the TV deal that is reportedly close to happening for the Mountain West Conference, and this is from my source, it is upwards of $450 million to be split amongst the 9 schools, which is like 80% more than what they've had in years past with like the Root Network, with CBS Sports Network. They're talking like actual CBS and Fox and FS1 and all that kind of stuff. So schools like Hawaii, which they had this ridiculous, stupid deal with Spectrum Sports, you pay, like $500 for 6 games. That's all you really get, which is not very fair. You only get 6 games and you're paying $500. It's ridiculous. So that's going to go away. So schools will be able to generate more money. And one of my friends who is very close to the whole Mountain West Conference as well. He has said that they're even pushing for the possibility if they add both Montana and Montana State, it could be $500 million. I mean, $500 million to be split amongst the 9 schools, which would put them in categories that G4 conferences, group of 4 conferences, have never been a part of, which is, serious revenue-driven conferences. So I just want to show you, here's the picture that I was trying to add. These are the teams that are officially with the Mountain West Conference in football starting. I mean, in general. This is all starting in the year 2026. You have, of course, Air Force, UC Davis, which is the C with A. Grand Canyon University is in basketball. University of Hawaii will be a full-time member. Nevada, New Mexico, Northern Illinois will be in football only. And then you got San Jose State. Then you got UNLV, University of Texas El Paso, Wyoming. That is the 9 currently listed. But again, they are still working at getting possible both Montana and Montana State. Now, there is an outside chance, like a shot in the dark, that they even get those. But also, there are talks with both North Dakota State and South Dakota State, which they would bring more. That would also bring more revenue in, And now I'm going to go to you, Hank, because I want to know your thoughts on this as well. Is the Mountain West trying to make themselves become a Power 4 kind of team?
I mean, in football, it's a tough call. I mean, there's just way too much parity in football. I think that, how many Division I college teams play in college football? It's
135.
See what I'm saying? So I think that they would have a better. I think it would be better for the regions and with TV deals and stuff like that. I think it would bring quality and possibly bring up a little bit more revenue in the territories. But I think for football, unless like some by some miracle like Deion Sanders going to Colorado or something like that and making them relevant, there has to be other football players that would have to make their teams relevant by being coaches. But in basketball, I mean, if memory serves me correctly, UNLV was like the team right before the Fab Five. See,
yep.
So you're talking about football having such great amount of parity as far as how many teams there are, but not a whole lot of parity as far as spotlight is concerned. But in basketball, it's all about valor. The majority of the time, these teams, when they make the tournament and they make these, when they 64 teams, it's usually the 64 best teams in the league. Somebody's going to get screwed. Life's not fair. But, UNLV hasn't really had a whole lot of relevance in the last 30 years or so, and neither has I had to look at the list again, but I mean, as far as basketball, but like UTEP. Okay, like UTEP was very relevant in basketball, especially in the 90s, and maybe not won championships, but had some sting behind them. And I'm hoping that it improves in football, obviously, just because I'm tired of hearing the same names. But I think it would benefit more for basketball if that same TV deal goes towards basketball.
It's like so I know that they're working on another deal as well for basketball. I think it's more for CBS rights. CBS is trying to take away a lot of the Fox affiliate with like sports wise. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I agree with you, right? 100% on that one, Hank, that, let basketball kind of be the signature to help bring its other brother football into it. Really is. I mean, look, and I'm not picking on you, Tim. I have friends who go to University of Texas El Paso. I want to ask you guys this: would you rather see an 0-13 Texas El Paso face a 6-6 Northern Illinois in football, or would you rather see a 21-win Texas El Paso take on a 25-win Northern Illinois?
Of course, you're going to pick the 20-win teams.
Yes,
exactly.
And
UTEP has not exactly done enough to really, oh my goodness, shake my boots and excite me. And I can also remind you guys on this, Grand Canyon was a part of the WAC, Western Athletic Conference, which, by the way, if you're paying attention, folks, almost every team on this list except for Air Force was a part of the Western Athletic Conference. And it's literally every team on this but Air Force. Air Force has always been in the Mountain West, or has been in the the Pac-8. They were in the Pac-8 back in the day. So that kind of stuff right there tells you that they're trying to grow. But Matt, I want to hear your thoughts on this as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, they're trying to grow, man. They're trying to put the necessary changes in, man. I can see they're looking long term, bigger picture. Like I said before, man, they're trying to grow. They're trying to grow, and they're trying to make a bigger league. And because they know more teams, more schools, bigger league, more money, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day is more revenue. So, more money, that means more money that can go towards your NIL. More money for your NIL means better players. Better players means more TV time. It all at the end of the day, it all equates to more revenue. So
no, absolutely. TV time will always be the thing that they struggle with in the West Coast area, though.
Yep, that's right. That's right. All right, so let's go into another one here. I saw this story. I sent it to you, but I sent it to Hank. And I want to show you as well, Matt and Shane. Anthony Richardson. He has major back issues. He's had back issues his entire life, basically, but they've never been as severe as they are now. Anthony Richardson, he's struggling for every bit of it. Walking around, crawling, everything. Basically, he has no real stamina left. I'm gonna throw it to you, Matt, because Hank has already told me his ideas, which I will have him explain as well. But do the Colts need to move on from him, Matt?
I think they got to give it another year. I know they had an issue with him where a lot of the players had to go to him and tell him that, they signed here for him. He's their franchise player. He needs to act like it because he hasn't been acting like it. But, I mean, there were questions about him coming out the draft. I mean, he was at the University of Florida. Everybody always, said things like, is he ready? Does he have the mental for this? There's always been questions for him and about him. So, with that being said, man, now people are going to start questioning his toughness. But people also don't realize back injuries will derail a career. Look at in basketball, Tracy McGrady, Scottie Pippen. They all have back injuries. Your back is your central nervous system, man. In any sport you do, in golf even, if your back is messed up, you're literally crawling. You can't do anything. My back, not to say my age, but my back locked up on me one time, man. I was out for a couple of days. So I already know, man.
I'm older than you, by the way, folks. I'm older than you.
Look, man, I was it was gym. It was gym related. Let's just put it like that. It was gym related. I was low heavyweight. But anyways, yeah, man. I mean, with this particular, I don't know the story. I don't know the validity of the story, and I don't know how accurate the story is. I don't know who reported it. But
it was Fox 59, which is based out of Indianapolis.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, man, I mean, it sucks, man, because back is nothing to play with. He needs to get whatever surgery he needs to get, and he needs to just rest for the offseason and then come back 100% next season and then go from there. But I think they'll give him one more shot, one more year. I don't think, me personally, I don't think he's going to make it to the big max contract with them. No. I just don't think he has enough right here. I don't think he has it right there as far as being a successful NFL quarterback.
So I really want to quickly mention this too. Did you guys see Jim Irsay in his farewell video? He was on that motorized scooter or whatever, and he looks so frail and fragile. I'm just going to throw this out there. Is it the Indianapolis Colts organization as a whole that is falling apart? But Shane, I want to go to you and ask you this: is Anthony Richardson, is he done? Does he need to stand up and say, I can't do this anymore?
Well, I'm piggyback off of Matt. There were so many questions with him coming out of Florida. Mm-hmm. He was a 1 year kind of starter, a hot hit. Especially towards the end of the year on not a great Florida team. I mean, they were decent. They weren't great. He made them a whole lot better than what they were, as we've seen the past couple of years. But my thing is, they're in a position now that they need to look at, what direction they want to go in as a team and as an organization. That's one of those things that they need to do. And with it be Anthony Richardson next year, he's still on his rookie contract. It is a first round contract, so he's still getting a good amount of money. But you know, are you going to compete with that, man? You know, you were talking about players with back injuries. This is my biggest comparison that I have to this guy, especially after what he did in college to the NFL and say from college to the NBA. Greg Odom. I mean, we
oh my God, I forgot about his name.
We saw him as a big star, and
yeah. They were the same. He was saying he was the savior of Portland. Remember?
Yeah. But and he played good in spots when he was healthy, but he could never stay healthy. And you know, my dad, he's had 7 back surgeries, and it's hard for him to walk and everything. He's gone from, you know, just a herniated disc, the fusions, the whole spinal osteotomy. So it's one of those things, you do not come back from back injuries. Tiger Woods.
Look, there's an example right there. You just nailed the head.
No. Tiger Woods is a freak of nature somehow, because him and my dad had the same back surgery, and the doctor told my dad that he would never swing a golf club again, much less swing a fishing rod out to cast it. With that same surgery. So, I mean, that's one of those things. You're talking about back issues. That's all core stuff. I mean, it's just like, you know, it's a pitcher coming back from Tommy John's, nothing. A pitcher coming back from pectoral tear is a completely different story.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you look like, you know, with your stomach, obliques into your back. Stomach, obliques, stuff like that, they can get healed pretty quick. Back, if it's messed up, it's messed up. It's messed up.
It's never. And you know, you're right.
You can be comfortable, but it's still messed up.
Yeah, and you always have that what if in your mind. You know, hey, real quick, let's shout out to our good friend Dustin, guys. Dustin, if you don't remember, is part of the Tired Sports Network. Dustin's a really good guy. We had him on our show last week. Really good to see you, Dustin. What's going on, buddy? Hey, this gentleman right here, Music Biz Marty, account one of dude. You just hit the nail on the head. You said right here, an intern at my firm went to the University of Florida, relayed some personal stories about Anthony Richardson. None of them good. Hey, you know, I've heard a lot of like questionable stories about him. So and then Chase here, want to say what's going on. Chase Crave, guys, remember Dirty Fanatics United. Check them out. Best Falcons contact. And again, he said Michael Penix is the truth. Next year, he shows he was the best quarterback option last. Matt, what do you say to that?
I totally agree. I think, but then again, you paid Kirk. You had to play Kirk. You paid him. You had to pay him. You paid him. You had to play him. You know, so I get it. You know, so but I think they held on to Kirk because 2 games too long.
Yep.
2 games, definitely 2 games too long. They should have put Penix out there. Penix looks great in the pocket. He can move out of the pocket. That's the big thing. He can move out of the pocket. He can get away from trouble. I mean, these defensive ends nowadays, man, these D tackles nowadays, they're moving. They are moving. You know, they're more defensive linemen are so athletic nowadays. Exactly. They're so athletic. They got to get out that pocket. The offensive lineman can only hold them for like 1 or 2 seconds. Get out the pocket. Don't get rid of the ball. And that's what Penix is doing, man. And also
that shotgun formation, that pistol, it's really worked out well for him, hasn't it?
Hey, you think? Yeah, man. You know, man. Whew.
So look, and this guy, look, whoever Music Ms. Marty, if you guys are here to say thank you for joining the show, really appreciate it. He said he's sitting here saying Anthony Richardson has some demons. Look, I've heard it. You know, a former coworker of mine, Mark Ryan, he's a University of Florida guy, huge University of Florida alumni as well. He said that he was never really truly sold on Anthony Richardson. You know, and I kind of have to believe. I think that he's done. I really do. You guys hit the nail on the head. Back injuries are so hard to come back from.
You got to remember, man. Anthony Richardson, man, he wasn't even projected a first-round pick, man. Really, so until the combine, he was a combine darling, man. He had a great combine. He tested athletically like off the charts, and that rushed them off draft boards, man.
And look, our good friend Derek, he's also part of Tired Sports. Derek, what is going on, man? Thank you for joining us. Matt, this is for you. Our good friend Trey Davis asked you to say keep pounding, which is the stupid saying for the Carolina Panthers. I'm not going to say it. Would you say keep pounding, Matt?
Thank you guys for helping our draft pick. No, man. No. I mean, it is what it is, man. I mean, look, Bryce Young turned the corner. He's turned the corner, man. He has. I think that benching early in the season helped him out. It helped him get his head straight. But granted, it wasn't, to me, it was never about Bryce Young. It was about the weapons that they gave Bryce Young and what he had around him. But you got, Xavier Legette coming into his own. You gave him, he's starting to get he had a good run game.
Adam Thielen.
Yeah, Adam Thielen shook off the rust. Offensive line finally decided they can block now. Defensive line, Clowney has been a revolution on that line against the run. Clowney is always been fantastic against the run.
He's an ageless wonder.
Yeah. So I mean, the pieces have started to pick up, man. But I mean, if you sit here and say in week 1 that Carolina was going to win more than 4 or 5, we said 4 or 5 games, right? Oh, well, I said 1 game. Then I said 1 or 2 games.
I said 2. I said 2 as well.
I said 2. But hey, man, they proved me wrong. I mean, they look good against the Falcons D. If they played the Falcons D every week, man, they'll be a 10-win team. But you're not going to see the Falcons D every week, man.
Jimmy Lake's defense, by the way.
Yeah, which I think that'll be changed. I think they're going to give Jimmy Lake one more. I think they're going to give him half a season next year.
I wouldn't even give him that. All right, so Music by Marty said he asked, I guess he's referring to his prospects as a pro, and he said there were no possible shot after watching what he saw down in Gainesville. Look, again, Anthony Richardson, he's not I don't think he's a savior for the Colts. Honestly, the last quarterback, I have to say the best quarterback in recent time, not Peyton Manning, would be Andrew Luck. And Andrew Luck retired early. And I think Andrew Luck was a better option for Indianapolis, and they're trying to find themselves again for that. Derek just said Cousins gets traded to the Colts. That's so funny. We just said that too. They love old quarterbacks. Hill traded to the Falcons.
Hey man,
London, Robinson, Penix, and Pitts would be a killer.
Yeah, going back to what you said about Andrew Luck, it's crazy because the problem with Andrew Luck's team is he didn't have an offensive line. He was getting killed.
He was getting killed.
The moment he retires, they draft Quentin Nelson, and they have the best offensive line in football for the next few years. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. A friend of mine, man, he's a big Colts fan, man. That pissed him off so much that he dropped being a Colts fan and went to be a fan somewhere else, man. So, but yeah, man, that's crazy. I always thought that was crazy.
All right, so I want to talk about this story here. I saw it. It's with NFL rumors. Obviously, I don't really think there's a lot of validity to it. I just want to see what you guys thought. The talks are Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen is making the headlines for the possibility of signing a 9-year, $836 million deal, which would put him in an average annual deal of $65 million a year. I don't know if this is 100% true. I don't think, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. Matt, could you see a player like Josh Allen making almost $1 billion? I mean, we do have a $500 million deal with Patrick Mahomes, but could Josh Allen really net almost $900 million?
Isn't that Patrick Mahomes deal over 10 years or something like that?
Yeah.
It's like a 10-year deal. So about $50 million a year, which is the average, kind of around the average of what a quarterback makes now. That 900, I think that's absurd. I think that's crazy right now. First of all, wouldn't that take up the whole salary cap? Football operates on the salary cap, if I'm not mistaken, and they have to use a certain percentage of their cap every year.
Luxury tax.
I don't know if the cap rolls over.
Luxury taxes now. You can go over the cap, but only so much. So, and you got to pay the luxury tax.
Yeah, but only so much.
That's where it changes.
Yeah,
but then again, look at it like this: who else are the Bills paying? They're not really paying anybody else right now. There's really nobody else that they're paying, which is I'm amazed that even they're as good as they are with the team that they have. Running
backs are a dime a dozen right now, and I just that could be one of the reasons why that they're not exactly, worried about the salary cap, so to speak, because $65 million a year is what you said it would average out to. And how much is the yearly salary cap? Like 150 right now or something like that?
I think it's 200. I think it's like 218. It's supposed to go up this next year from what they said.
Yeah.
They haven't told us yet, though.
It's such a shit show when it comes to them raising that salary cap. They should have did it years ago.
Yeah,
but now they're making it to the point that these quarterbacks, it's almost like they're not going to have to work for it as much. I mean, like Allen is a great quarterback. He's not just a good one. And he might be my pick to actually win the Super Bowl this year. The Buffalo Bills. I've reserved the right to change my mind. The playoffs haven't even started, but I think it's a little bit too much. Like, I mean, I get it. Life's not fair. Life is not fair, but that's a little bit of a quantum leap from somebody like Patrick Mahomes, who is like the new Tom Brady, and making $500 million, which I thought was absurd at the time. But hey, the times have changed. But then that would, I don't know. That was like when Mike Conley got paid $152 million 5-year contract, and was the highest paid player of all time for a good cup of coffee, when he hadn't really produced. And Josh Allen is making a culture up there, and he's doing things up there, but he hasn't even been to the bowl yet, much less, gone to or won it.
Real talk. I actually wanted Atlanta to draft him because I got the chance, big Hawaii guy here. I got to watch him play against Hawaii at Wyoming. I said, God, Josh Allen is like a quarterback on like any other I have ever seen, and I really wanted Atlanta to draft him.
Had a cannon at Wyoming.
Yeah, the dude literally he flick his arm and the ball goes 60 yards. Josh Allen is like one of those rare occurrences. Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, yes, but Josh Allen, I hope that this year, I'm with you, Hank. I hope this year is the year that the whatever damn curse is at Buffalo ends, because I mean, again, folks, in case you haven't paid attention, Buffalo is the only professional sports franchise to go to 4 straight AFC championships, go to 4 straight Super Bowls, and lose all 4. Not lose them, just lose them, but handily lose them. Some of them, they got their butts really beat.
In a couple were field goals.
So, I mean, again, they're the only NFL franchise, though, and hopefully Josh Allen can break that curse. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs are the team this year. I don't care if they go, 16-0, 10 years in a row under damn Mahomes. I still don't think they're that great anymore. Mahomes played really off this year, and I have not seen really any major decline. This is actually the first year that Josh Allen has played the entire season fully healthy. He's really
fully healthy. But in that same sense, though, he's also been included in the MVP conversation in the last 4 years. So that's another thing that you got to take into consideration.
Right.
I mean, you either got to pay him or you're going to lose him.
Well,
that's right.
That's climate.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I think that $836 million is a little absurd. I think they could satisfy him with like $600 million. Really, I mean, why would they throw that out there so much? I mean, was that what his agent's saying?
Well, if you're the Buffalo Bills, why not? Because you're able to compete at this high level, and you still have this much space to basically front end your quarterback and give them everything on the back end, the way you can put money up and be better through free agency to start with. And so you give them those 5 years to win championships.
Right.
I mean that's kind of the business side of it, but I see where you're going, but it's also like, I mean, the top 3 quarterbacks that you've heard of in the past few years, Lamar, Patrick, and Josh.
Yeah.
They all deserve the biggest contracts in the NFL, in my opinion. They have proven time after time and year after year that they have been the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So why not pay them?
Right. I agree. And I agree to an extent. I don't know. Maybe I'm old school this way, but I just hate it when they pay guys based upon potential. That's what
I agree with Hank here. You can't give he cannot make more than Patrick Mahomes. I don't see. Don't.
That's why I said it'll be a front light contract.
Yeah.
Back end heavy. That way they can restructure and do some things around it to win championships to make it seem realistic and more reasonable for whoever they're giving it to, plus the fans.
The only one I can really see making as much as Mahomes is Lamar, because he has a couple of MVP trophies already,
and he has gone above the potential to lead his team to the Super Bowl. It's like, but they've come up just shy.
Right.
I think that if I had to choose between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson to potentially lead my team to an undefeated regular season or the fastest to get the Super Bowl, while Josh Allen is fantastic, great player, I would actually lean more on Lamar. And I'm not a big Lamar Jackson fan. I was not a fan of him at Louisville.
He's really not a fan of Lamar Jackson. He's really not a fan of Lamar Jackson. It's just been hate. It's been constant Lamar Jackson hate.
I would lean on him to be more of the potential
program around Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I would much rather build my program around or organization around Josh Allen than I would Lamar Jackson. And I love Lamar Jackson because, I mean, hell, he beat Vic's record this year.
Right.
But with Lamar, I would go with Lamar only because Lamar has won some big playoff games. Not only that, though, but I don't know. I just think Lamar is a little bit more tactical than Josh Allen. If Josh Allen doesn't have it, he's barreling forward. He's barreling forward, getting tackled. Lamar's learned to, he learned to go through his reads and go through his progressions. He's learned. Now coming in, Lamar wasn't like that. Lamar, it was one read, bam, he's taking off. Now Lamar has settled down and he goes through. He's a pass first quarterback more than he is a run first quarterback now.
Yeah.
But with Josh,
through his career.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Josh Allen is the third best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion, as well.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree.
And I just don't, like I said, once again, I'm repeating myself here, but like potential is what we're having to go with right now. And I think that he has, like when Mahomes got that contract, he'd already won a couple or yes. I think he won 2 rings already.
Yes.
When Mahomes got it, Lamar Jackson won MVP. Josh Allen is in the conversation for MVP, and I think he's a great quarterback. Honestly, I think that one of the reasons why they're probably going to pay him that much is because of the culture up there. He fits the culture up there in Buffalo. Buffalo is a very wealthy organization, and they're willing to go over the tax to give it to him. But he's all in with Buffalo. He doesn't see to turn his head and go somewhere else. I don't see it. I see him as a lifetime Buffalo guy. Until he gets out of his prime.
With the Buffalo guys in general. I mean, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith, Jim Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean, you see all of them. If they've been a key piece to any kind of success that the Bills have had, they've stayed a kind of prime figure in that organization until they got out.
I've always liked Buffalo. I have my teams that I pull for, but I'm not a hater of any team, and I actually like Buffalo. I think that culture up there is going to pay him to be up there and be synonymous with a small city like Buffalo.
I can see that,
Yeah. I mean,
you got to look at this way too. Jim Kelly, he wasn't the flashiest, but he is one of the best, and Josh Allen, he's not one of the flashiest, but he's one of the best. And bottom line is, we're gonna go around the table here. Start with you, Matt. Would you give Josh Allen a $900 million contract? Yes or no?
Absolutely not. I couldn't do it.
Shane, would you?
Depending on the years.
Okay.
Depending on the years, if you give him more than 10, yes. If it's less than 10, which I don't see it being less than, I don't see it being 10 or more at this point, especially in his age. I mean, I still got him. I think he wins the MVP this year.
At 10 years, though, at 10 years, that's $90 million a year. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, you're right.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's almost double than what Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, listen, I'm a baseball guy, so if you get back in third on that, then you can restructure down the line.
That's right. You can restructure. Hank, yes or no? Would you give Josh Allen a $900 million contract if you could?
I'm gonna be nice. If he wins the Super Bowl, yes.
Okay.
If he wins the Super Bowl, yes, because he.
I agree right there. I would give it to him too.
Yeah. But
right now, contract.
Right.
So.
Yeah. But if you told me today, if you told me on, January 7th, 2025. No.
So, all right, let's talk real quick because we're coming close on time. Really quick, want to give a shout out to my daughter's basketball team. Yes, it does say Powdersville basketball in here. However, we are the Dominators. They did a fantastic job tonight. We played a very scrappy team who knew how to play good defense. The girls got it done. We won 20-16. So please, if you guys can, give a round of applause to Addison and her team. I'm very proud of my girls. I love my daughter is fantastic. She scored a point. She got 2 rebounds. She got 2 steals. She technically got a third, but they called a foul on it which it wasn't really a foul, but they said it was. So I'm going to say she got 3, but still really proud of them. But I tip my cap to them. All right, real quickly also, Trey Davis just said former Utah State running back has transferred to South Carolina. It is, how do you say that? Rashad Fashion?
Rashul
Fashion? Okay. All right, that's a good move right there. All right, so now, Matt, we know. It was a toilet bowl season. You start out the year 6-3. You're the number technically at the time of at the height of that point, you were the number 3 seed in the NFC playoffs, bowing for that number 2 position possibly. And everybody, our good friend Brandon Leak at 680 The Fan came out and said all Atlanta needs to do is go 4-4, and they won the division. Perfectly fine, right? We'll do great things. Whatever in the world is going on with the Atlanta Falcons organization, I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it's time for blank to hang it up. I don't know. But you went 2-6, and we had to have the dumbest hope in the world. And I told you guys, I said, the Saints are the kind of team that will have it on the cusp, and then they will go, you know what? Go ahead, have the touchdown. And what do? They were on the cusp and gave the game-winning touchdown up. So then they go on 4th down, and Spencer Rattler overthrows the wide receiver. Congratulations. The Aints became the Aints even more because they ain't worth the damn. They allowed the Buccaneers to win their 4th straight NFC South. What's the wide receiver's name there? They just got the 1,000th yard for 11th straight year.
Mike Evans.
Yeah. This gave Mike Evans his 5 yards he needed to get his 11th straight 1,000-yard season.
35 seconds to go on the clock too. At that.
I'm going to ask you this, Matt, and then I'm going to ask you guys as well. But Matt, I'm going to start with you. Who is ultimately to blame on the season? Is it Terry Fontenot? Is it Raheem Morris, Jimmy Lake, Zach Robinson, or all the above?
All the above, man. I'm going with all the above here. First of all, I'm going to go with Raheem Morris for the timeout debacle against the Redskins. Yes, I'm calling them the Redskins. The timeout debacle. That right there kind of killed the season, because if that was the case, then, you never know what could have happened there, man. But, with 30 seconds left, and you don't move a yard in 30 seconds, and you got 2 timeouts, and you don't even move a yard.
You didn't even think about it. Like, was you thinking he's going to catch him at the end for extra points? Is that what he was thinking?
You have 30 seconds, and you catch the ball 30 seconds, and you have 2 timeouts left, and you're just right at a field goal. Well, if you kick it right where you are, it's a 55-yarder, and you have a brand new kicker here. Get closer, run the ball. You can move against that defense. You obviously moved against the defense. You got 2 timeouts, man. 5 yards would have made a difference. The field goal missed by a couple yards.
Missed by 3 yards.
Would have made a difference.
Yep.
5 yards would have made a difference. That's Raheem. With Terry, you don't draft defense. You don't draft defense in the first round. I hate it. Michael Penix was great. Michael Penix was good. But honestly, that pick at that time should have been a defensive player. It should have been a defensive player. That's what it should have been. It should have been somebody who could rush the pass, or who can rush the passer. That's what the pick should have been. And then the season would have happened, and Kirk would have been whatever, and we would have stuck with Kirk. They make the play. We obviously didn't make the playoffs anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. So because we weren't going to make the playoffs regardless. Yeah. So man, with Terry Fontenot, that's my thing right there, man. You haven't drafted defense since you've been here in the first round. You have not drafted defense in the first round since you've been here. What was the problem with the previous regime with what's his name? Thomas
Dimitroff.
Thomas Dimitroff and his coach Mike
Smith.
Yeah, Mike Smith, and then you had
Dan Quinn.
What was it? What was it? What didn't we do in the first round? Didn't draft defense. The only defensive player we drafted in the first round was Vic Beasley, and
Vic Beasley was a bust.
And in that draft, we got Takk McKinley as well. And in that Takk McKinley draft, we should have drafted T.J. Watt. That's what we should have did.
And what is Takk McKinley doing at Takk? Is what?
Tack's
a used car salesman.
He's at Quick Trip bagging groceries right now. Yeah. That's what he's doing. He's at Quick Trip bagging groceries right now with a picture of his grandmother right there. Which is crazy. It's crazy, man. So when we drafted, I love Bijan Robinson. I
think he's gonna be a beast.
He is going to be a beast. But at the time, we had a 1,000-yard running back. With Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier ran for 1,000. Algier ran for 1,000 yards. Granted, I love the Bijan pick. But you know what pick I like more than a Bijan pick?
Defense.
A defensive player. Let's put this in perspective as well. When we drafted, what's his name? About 3-4 years. Who was our draft pick 3 or 4 years ago? I'm drawing a blank right now.
Kyle Pitts.
When we drafted Kyle Pitts, you know who else is in that draft?
Everybody that was better. Michael Parsons.
Michael Parsons.
Yep.
Wasn't who got drafted after Kyle Pitts? Jamar Chase.
Yep.
Penei Sewell, who's the offensive lineman for the Lions, one of the best offensive linemen in the game right now. We are horrible at drafting. I don't know what it is, but we just don't draft well. And I never trusted Terry Fontenot anyway because he came from the Saints organization. He came over here to sabotage us, man. From the jump. He knows what he's doing. That's all I got to say.
I'm blaming everything. I'm doing all the above. But Jimmy Lake, I don't think he realized that 3-4 defense was great back in the early 90s, late 90s, and early 2000s. Hell, even up to 2010s. But, dude, it does not work now. We were a laughing stock. And then I even mentioned this before. Up until 2016, we were a 4-3 man defense. We played man, and we were a better defense for whatever reason. We switched to a stupid zone, and ever since then, every team has eaten the Falcons up on defense because they know you're in stupid zone coverage, and it got you. And then Zach Robinson. Look, you had some glimpses of greatness, but where did you get your plays from? Madden? I mean, seriously. Or did you get it from NCAA 25? Which one did you get it from the most is my thing. And then Terry, Matt, you hit the nail on the head. The dude came to sabotage. That's literally all it was. Because Drew Brees is gone, hell, why not go somewhere else and try and screw that up as an organization even more? I say get rid of Terry. I say definitely get rid of Raheem Morris. He is, he was not a good coach before. Yes, he was a fan favorite, but he is not a good coach. He sucked in Tampa. He sucked as the Falcons interim coach. He was okay for LA Rams purposes because he was okay. But he's back here again. He sucks, plain and simple. So I say get rid of the whole damn coaching staff. Start all over again. It'd be another heartbreaker. Shane, who is you blaming this regime? Would you blame Terry, Jimmy Lake, Zach Robinson, Morris, or all of the above?
I don't know if you can blame Morris so much as you can blame the factos that have been there throughout. Atlanta's kind of right there. Me and my cousin were talking about it, who's a big Atlanta fan. We were talking about the Kyle Pitts situation and everything. He's come rookie contract and everything else, and I was like, okay, well, with the system that you're in right now and the quarterback that you have for your future, because this is what you have committed to, hey, why not keep Kyle Pitts instead of getting rid of him and stuff like that? Keep Kyle Pitts for say the downfield seam threat. That
He didn't even run the downfield though. He runs lazy routes.
Well, that you need in that kind of offense. He's got better hands than what you would have in drafting players, especially what's coming up now. And plus, you've got to use those draft picks for other needs that you have. So it's kind of all you can blame, in my opinion. It's one of those things where I think if they would have bought in with Kirk Cousins and drafted a defensive player or an offensive type player in that spot and went all in as Cousins as a quarterback, I think that they're definitely a top 3, if not, the 4 to 5 seed in the NFC right now. But they went and got the pick that they thought was best for them, and that's what's for their future. So they're not necessarily looking at the playoffs this year. Yes, it's great that they were about to make it this year, but Bryce Young had other other things. But I think that you got to kind of put the blame wholeheartely on the whole organization, and kind of judge them based off of what they're going to do in the off season. Because they're kind of like these ones, unlike the Bears, who took great talent and completely squandered it with a great defense. Kind of Atlanta's kind of been mediocre on both sides of the ball as far as the talent, but is made some strong free agent moves to put them where they were at the beginning of the season, especially the first half. But you put it on the organization as a whole, you see what direction they're going to go in, and then you judge them post-draft. I think that's the best way that you got to do it. As a football fan on the outside looking in, that's the only way I see it reasonable for this organization.
You're right, and I can't for the likes of him. Matt doesn't understand either. We have not had a solid quarterback situation since 2016.
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, that was it. We had the dumbass pick in Desmond Ridder, who almost actually beat Atlanta, by the way, folks. And for whatever reason, Jimmy Lake's defense made him look like a Hall of Famer, for God's sake. We had Marcus Mariota, who quit on the team, who went over and plays with Dan Quinn, gets in the playoffs, and whatever, I don't care. So then you had this whole hype on Kirk Cousins. This was going to be it. They finally got the quarterback to win now, blah, things. But here is the sad reality. Secretly, they knew something was going to happen with Kirk. They knew it. And there are so many reports out now that say that Kirk Cousins is physically unable to be a playing quarterback more. He's lost a lot of his strength. And you do see it. You actually started seeing it. And, they really hurt a lot of the fans' trust. Matt, I can see it in your face. You're disgusted with how things have gone.
I give him $100 million, man.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And here's the thing.
180.
Matt Ryan. God dang. Matt Ryan, he could still sling it. If he had the right coaching staff, we wouldn't have had this mess. Who knows what could have happened? Who really knows? We don't know. We can't live in the land of what if.
I mean, he had the 1-2 punch with Julio Jones too, to be fair.
Yep.
That's
and Matt will tell you that Julio Jones debacle happened, and that put a bad taste in his mouth, which put a bad taste in the organization's mouth, because you upset literally the franchise's greatest receiver to ever walk the face of the earth for the Atlanta Falcons. He's never, he's a free agent. He's going to come back and give you the league minimum for shits and giggles, because he's like, why would I help them out? He heard him out. All right, real quick, I wanted to bring this up with you guys, and then we're going to head on out of here. Chevy, likes to recycle a lot of their cars. Well, all car brands in general like to recycle their cars, right? To bring it back. Volkswagen's bringing the Shaggin' Wagon back, the really unusual looking van. They're bringing that back.
It's an EV. It's an EV though.
Yeah, but it's a shaggin' wagon still. That's what it was. That's what they called it, right? They brought back the bug. They are bringing back the bug again in 26. It's going to be interesting how they bring it back. So that car companies in general. Let's see. Brian caught you, but Marcus didn't. Yeah, actually, he did. Brian, he quit on the organization, and there is actually a lot. Yes, he did have surgery, but he did quit on the Falcons. It came out that he didn't appreciate what was going on, so he actually he abandoned the team. They told him to get out of here, and he said, "All right," and he never came back to the organization, unfortunately. All right. So, but what I was saying though is Chevy, they bring back cars, Honda, Toyota, Volkswagen, Volvo, you name it, they're all bringing it back. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is an actual vehicle that is coming out. And I'm just going to post the picture up, and then I want you guys to tell me if you recognize what it is. Now, it does say what it is on the picture, but I want you guys to see if you recognize it right away.
Is that an Astro van?
Yep, it is the Chevy Astro van. The Astro van will be coming back.
Wow.
Starting at the end, like in the fall time of 2025. Yes,
I want the conversion vans to come back. I want the conversion vans to come back, like where you could go out. Well, I got a van for my family. Guess what?
Yeah.
I'm standing out here in the woods. It's a motorhome.
That's right. The Chevy, yes, it does. It looks really good. I like it. The Chevy Astro van is going to come back, and it will be starting at the end of this year, 2025, fall time. Will start coming out. It will be at the Atlanta Auto Show. It'll make its debut at the Atlanta Auto Show. Go and check it out, Matt. I know you've been to the auto show with Brian and me as well. I think you came with Keith one year with me as well. Which, by the way, Keith called me the other day. I didn't answer, but he called me the other day. Weird. But Matt has had the privilege to go to the Atlanta Auto Show. So if you guys get a chance, Charlotte will have it this year as well, the Atlanta Auto Show. I don't know, Hank, does Memphis or Nashville have the auto show come to them?
You know what? I'm not a hardcore car guy, man. I just don't. I don't know. I wish I was more manly and more obsessed with cars.
I think it comes to Nashville. I think it does.
And it will. And look, and we get these things in Memphis as well, but Nashville has surpassed us as far as popularity is concerned. We were the biggest city in the state. Now we're the second biggest city in the state. So,
yeah. And if Tennessee keeps being good, I might be the third.
Say that again.
If Tennessee keeps being good, I might be the third.
You know what? If they would jack down their prices.
Hey, there's some falutin people out there. They're in the SEC.
Oh, of course. I mean, old. People talk about Tennessee and Ole Miss. They're from like podunk towns and stuff like that. But podunk towns have rich people in it that don't want to be around certain demographics. If you know what I'm saying.
Not a podunk town.
But however, my family who lives right outside of Knoxville, who are big UT fans, you do have Oak Ridge, you do have Kingston. They are podunk, and they have some of the best talent come from Oak Ridge and Kingston.
Yeah,
Dandridge, you got all of them right there.
Yeah, they don't want to be in the hood. That's all it is. I mean,
All right, so real quick, guys. Quickly again, we put this up. Go like our Facebook page. Go like our Twitter page. We can build this back up with you guys. Look, everybody knows about the Twitter thing happened. They Elon Musk went through with his crew and they killed like 50 million bots or whatever. I'm totally fine with that, but they're coming back again, unfortunately. Let's build our Twitter follow. But look, our year-end goal for 2025 is 500 with the Twitter page. We're at 165. Let's get to 500. We can do it with you guys at the Sportz Nutz on Twitter. Let's go ahead and like our Facebook page. We're at 221. Our year-end goal is 500 there as well. Let's get it going. Share that with your friends. Bring them all. Yes. We have great contributions, as you see. We have my good friend here, Shane. We have my good friend here, definitely my good friend here, Matt, because I've known him for 20 plus years. Yeah. But dang gummit. And then, never mind. And my catty corner guy, I suck at that, really do. I have Hank, guys, Hank has got his own show, but he is making on our team. He is with us. He has a great show, the Hank Russell Invitation. Check it out on YouTube. He has some good content. Check it out. But guys, So follow us on every social media platform. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our year 2 end goal is at minimum 280. We're at 142. Let's get it going. We can do this with your help. Real quick, guys. Mother Nature is coming, and she is coming fast and furious. Old Man Winter is going to be gracing his presence in the southeast. They have come out with more updated totals with the snow event that's supposed to happen this weekend. And if you live on the I-85 corridor in north, which is the upstate of South Carolina, they are saying possibly 6 to 8 inches of snow with the possibility of up to 1/10 of an inch of ice. So stay tuned for that. Hank just had a wonderful winter event happen in the state of Tennessee. Matt, you're on that cusp of a 2 to 4 inch snow possibility.
Yes,
but it's like it changes every model run. Shane, you're kind of in the same run with Matt because you're below.
I'm going out of Charleston. I'll be out of.
Yeah, you'll be out of it. You'll be in the cold rain kind of thing. But so, guys, we will absolutely have an episode this Friday. We have the South Carolina Ravens coming on. Cannot wait to have them on. We always have a good episode with them. Andre and the gang will come on. They will give us updates with everything because they're literally like 2.5 weeks away from the I guess you can kind of the preseason style of workouts going. So we're going to have them on, talk about it on this Friday. We will be here 7:30 this Friday. We will have these lovely faces again. We had a great episode with you all. We appreciate you guys coming on again. Please tell all your friends to stop coming on our show and posting those inappropriate comments. We do have kids who read on this show. We do not appreciate it. We want positive, uplifting, caring, that kind of stuff. Just be kind, be respectful, and even if you're jealous that, we're all together on the show and you're going on our episodes and clicking thumbs down on every episode, it's not even worth it. It's at the end of the day, guys, it's a podcast. It's for people to have fun and talk.
Yeah, let's grow up, guys.
Be polite, be courteous.
Here.
Yeah.
Don't act immature and don't act like a kid and say these negative things and
I saw a couple.
Attack somebody for their family, just so you guys know, this is recorded. Okay. And if those kind of comments continue coming, there is this little button.
Isn't it crazy though, man? Isn't it crazy though that you actually like kind of waste your time? You're an adult and you waste your time to go on a podcast to type some crazy stuff like what are we 12 here, man?
Exactly.
Bro?
And like I said, this is recorded. And if you go on to a show, any show, I don't care what it is, go on to a show and you talk about you're going to hurt someone's family, harm someone's kids, that's a threat. Police can get involved. They can find you. There is this thing called an IP address. It's internet protocol. They can find you down to the exact street you're on.
And I'm just gonna put it out there. I can make it happen myself. I'm not gonna tell my source. I've told Brandon before. And I'll tell Matt and Shane my source when I get off the air. But I can find you. So don't play.
Yeah, don't do it. Just be kind and courteous to each other. Shane, what do you tell these lovely people?
Man, I'm gonna lead into what I was taught as a youngin, and that's the 3 golden rules. It's always do your best, always do what's right, and treat other people the way you want to be treated. And if you live by that, you can lay your head down at night and get a good night's sleep. But but what I always say is peace, love, and bacon grease.
That's right. Hank, what do you say to the lovely people?
Man, thank y'all for out there for supporting us, and thank you for welcoming me on this team. Hey, I haven't had any hater comments yet come at me, so I appreciate it. Thank you, and y'all have a pleasant evening.
And just so you know, Shane and I had a wonderful someone gave a wonderful comment. They took time out of their ridiculous lives to say that Shane and me have a secret love life. Shane and I are good friends.
Hey, look, man, you guys have been looking at each other kind of.
You know what, though, Matt?
I'm just playing.
Oh, there's the flag.
Yeah. Hey, y'all the one with the history.
Hey,
hey,
I'm a man with a battered past.
Hey, you know what? Hey, look, if somebody ever says that about me, I'll be like, I got a tattoo on my butt that says, "Come on."
Oh my God, that was awesome. Matt, what do you say to these lovely people, man?
Hey guys, if you're going out there, man, and you happen to drink anything other than this right here, I don't want to get flagged. If you happen to drink anything other than this right here, man, and it happens to be a beverage that'll, impair your vision, don't get behind the wheel, man. Go ahead and call that Uber, man. Don't get flagged. Don't get flagged. Don't do anything that behind bars or that hurts to get somebody hurt.
Yeah, because I don't know if I'm gonna do it this Friday, but I'm definitely gonna sip some bourbon one day.
We ain't doing this Friday. This Friday, we're over here. We're gonna be frozen. We're gonna be in lockdown this Friday.
It's cold enough. Some bourbon might actually sound good.
Bourbon does sound good. I'm at the liquor store tonight.
Bourbon always sounds good.
Darn Skippy. All right, guys. We will be back again this Friday, 7:30 p.m. We will be with the South Carolina Ravens. Cannot wait to talk with them. Until then, guys, peace up. A-Town down. Best city in all of sports. Regardless of what happened with the Falcons this past weekend against the Carolina Panthers, Atlanta's still the best, and we love every minute of it. Can't wait, guys. We will be back. But also want to let you know real quick, we're hoping to get some big Atlanta guests come on. I am in talks with the Atlanta Gladiators, so stay tuned for that one. Until then, guys, you guys have a wonderful evening. Go have fun with your family and enjoy this weather that's coming. The snow's coming your way. Go have fun. Take care, guys, and we'll see you then. Good night.